All right, tonight we got Mark Hamilton, Patrick Burke of the newly acquainted Centennial Midget Series on deck. Talk all things midget racing. Here we go. Yes, it is that time once again for the Throwin Sliders podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Hall. Sitting virtually beside me is my co-host and driver of the number 32 sprint car, Mr. Blair Cooper. Thank you all so much for making this your final listen or final view of the day. It is part of the Scrub and Tires Media podcast, the number one racing podcast network in the state of Colorado. Thank you all, especially our every weekers, for help making that to the case. Mr. Blair, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Man, good. It's good to be back. It feels like the kind of unofficial kickoff to race season for us here, the mountain region.
Absolutely. How about that intro? Like that? Been off for
sharp as a tack.
Yeah, we kind of got invited to do this. This is more for Mark and Patrick, obviously, here tonight, but I'm going to learn a lot. Everybody's kind of seen what's transpired over social media with Rocky Mountain Midgets, now the Centennial Midget Series. So if you have any questions, now is your opportunity tonight to either listen to, hopefully Blair and I do a good job as hosts and asking those questions. And if we don't, certainly get those fingers ready in the keyboard and we'll answer, or have Patrick and Mark answer those questions for you. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. As always, Mountain Ops is back on board with us in 2026, almost been a year now, which is insane. But we're still loading up on Mountain Ops supplements, and we can't urge you enough to do the same, especially with Blair's got it queued up.
I'm always ready.
We don't have a winter this year in Colorado, so it's been hot. So a lot of the supplements are year round now. So anyways, you know what to do. It's in the ad. Use promo code TS Podcast every time you check out, 20% off. Just a special token of appreciation to you, the viewer and the listener. So without further ado, we will play the ad and get Mr. Mark and Patrick in here. Whether you're chasing checkered flags, chasing elk in the mountains, casting a line, or crushing early morning workouts in the gym, there's one name every high performer should know: Mountain Ops. This team fuels athletes, hunters, racers, and weekend warriors with the cleanest, hardest-hitting supplements on the market. Let's be honest, this sport isn't for the soft. Late nights in the garage, long drives to the track, and hot evenings in the pits and in the car. We are built different. That's why we run on Mountain Ops. Their supplements hit hard, feel clean, and don't have all that junk you can't pronounce. From early mornings to late nights on race day, this is the stuff that keeps the crew moving and ready for the next lap. Want in? Head to mtnops.com, enter code TS Podcast at checkout, and get 20% off your order. That's right, enter code TSPODCAST at checkout for 20% off your order. You don't just want to show up, you want to win. Fuel like you mean it. Winners use Mountain Ops. Proud supporting partner of the Throwin Sliders podcast. All right, there you have it, Mr. Patrick Burke. Going to get it right first off. And Mark Hamilton, who is a Scrub and Tires podcast alumni from trade show last year. So welcome back, Mark, and welcome officially to the first show, Patrick.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we have a lot to unpack here. I want to thank Blair for making this episode possible. Obviously, has been kind of talking with Mark in the background as this kind of has evolved, and I've been a innocent bystander, just kind of watching on social media and getting updates from Blair. So, Blair, I will officially hand the microphone over to you, and let's get this party started.
All right, fellas. Well, I mean, we won't waste any time. We'll get right to it. And either one, anytime you guys feel like you want to chime in, specifically, it doesn't matter who, but with four of us on here, we'll try to do our best to get the questions and keep it fluid. So to either one of you, really tell us a little bit about, the one thing I know is that RMMRA, the Rocky Mountain Midget Association, is one of the oldest midget racing clubs in the country. So now it's going to be the Centennial Midget Series. Maybe tell us a little bit about the transition and why it's happening, and what to look forward to this year.
Patrick, want to go?
Go for it.
That's how I feel like on meetings every day. You want to take it?
You know, it's just been it's evolved and trying to get the club, the series into current times. With the RMMRA, it wasn't going to last. The purse, we didn't even have one. We couldn't tell the guys what they were coming to get. That's one thing Patrick and I have worked very, very hard on, is to get a purse built to be competitive with other series as close to possible. And that's going to attract teams from out of state, teams from in-state, teams that have been, in the barn, if you will, for years to get their cars out. They know what they're coming to race for. It's exciting. And we look forward to it. We've got a lot of good feedback so far. We've got some people that are not so much on board, but some of the people we thought wouldn't be on board are 100% on board. And that's very, very, very encouraging for sure.
So tell me why, what's the difference between the club type racing and then making it an actual private series with ownership? I mean, how does that affect purse? Or how can you bring more purse to the sport by doing it that way?
We both felt it was very important to get a consistent leader. Over the last several years, it seems like about every 2 years, myself included, have been in the role of club president. You kind of get tired of, the whole volunteer thing. And it just kind of came to the point where promoters didn't know who to call year after year. I'm still getting, I was president in 2019 and 2020. 2020 was obviously a very tough year with COVID. But I'm still getting promoters calling me that don't know who to talk to. And that was kind of a big thing for me, kind of a wake up, watching car counts dwindle, the different leadership come and go. We just felt like it was almost imperative that we did something or it was going to die. We were down, I think, Mark, there were like 6 members last year, 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was right there.
I had 2 of them. Mark had 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it was time. It was time for something to happen. And we were kind of at the point where we're going into our election meeting at the beginning of the year. And we had both discussed it. And, this either has to happen or we're going to go into the nomination of the new president. And there wasn't anybody. Nobody was willing.
Sure.
So the time was right. We had to do something. We both love open wheel racing. My background's more sprint cars, but got into midgets maybe, I guess it's almost 10 years ago now, and love it. I love all aspects of dirt open wheel racing, and I just really didn't want to see it crash and burn, Kind of watch the sprint cars go from, we had 28, 30 cars on a weekly basis in the 90s, and watched it dwindle down to 4 cars. And in recent years, it's kind of building back up, which is a great thing to see. And we both just felt like it was time to take the midgets the same direction.
Well, I was just going to ask that. You bring up a good point. So Blair and I, year after year that we've been doing the Dirt podcast now, we see the trajectory of sprint cars, right? And that's nationwide, not just Colorado or this region. But I guess how has it been for you two, obviously owning midget cars, being presidents, you know, co-chairs, whatever, of the RMMRA, and seeing the opposite of a decline, but sprint cars are going up? I mean, I'm sure that probably wasn't, you know, great to see, right?
It was terrible to watch happen. One of the things that I did notice with the sprint cars is the purses have increased enormously over the last 5-6 years. Across the board, from the 305s, which started off at, you know, about 400 to win. Now they're having races 1,500, 2,500 to win, which is great to see. 410 racing it was down to where it was 1,000, 1,500 to win, you know, 10 years ago for at the local level. And now these regional series are coming about, and it's 4,000 and 5,000 to win a local or a regional race. It was pretty evident to me that the purse structure is a huge driving force behind it. And that's been a huge push for us. At the beginning of all the discussions we were having, we were talking about rules packages and how we can try to encourage people to come either drag some of the older cars out of the barn or how to get people to travel in from other areas. And what it kind of came down to was even some of the older engines are competitive still. I mean, we talked about a little bit ago, Corey Day won Turkey Night with a W9, which is, you know, it's a 15-year-old engine. They are competitive. The big difference between a midget and a sprint car is the wing. And without that wing, you don't need the horsepower. It's not as important. It does put it in the driver's hands a little bit more, in my opinion. And then getting that purse structure up. So we kind of got away from the rules change as much. We felt like maybe it was more important to stay consistent with other regions and bring that purse up, make it competitive so that guys that wanted to travel in from, you know, 300, 400, 500 miles away, at least they knew what they were racing for.
Very important.
Yeah.
So kind of to piggyback off that, as far as we're limited in the region, this isn't Pennsylvania or Ohio. I mean, we don't have 30 tracks, you know. As far as working with promoters, I did look at your guys' schedule. Maybe a little, this is kind of insider baseball, but that's usually who watches the show is. How does that work? Say you bring up the series and now you're bringing, I mean, do they require you to bring so much purse money and guarantee a car count, or what, are they willing to help you? Because what we always say is that if you put up the purse and the cars show up, then you put asses in the seats in the stands, and it's self-lubricating. I mean, one feeds the other, and with any broken link in the chain, none of it seems to work. So are you getting any feedback or help from these promoters in any of the regions? I mean, are they excited?
Very excited. We've had a lot of good talks with in-state promoters and out-of-state promoters, and they're encouraged with what Patrick and I are doing with the new series. They saw the decline with the RMMRA. The RMMRA, let's all be honest, it's not gone. We're just taking it in a new direction that's going to be sustainable for the future of midget racing in our region and our surrounding areas for sure. So we're really excited. The promoters have been giving us great feedback. And I truly believe, I know Patrick does as well, that it's going to be something big. It's going to be something big.
Are they willing to work with you on purse? Or, I mean, that's kind of where I'm curious is I know some places, you know, it's like with you do high limit, you can pick 3 options of either you got to put up all the risk. And then if they fill the stands, you get a bigger piece of that, or will they split it with you? Or, I mean, is that kind of how this works in this new era, or is it all on you to bring the cars and the sponsors? And if it works out, maybe we'll talk next year. Is that kind of the feeling you've gotten? Or are they saying, hey, we want you here, we'll try to help out? Or is it just you bring your cars, bring the guys and prove it to us?
A little of both, you know. I think if we can get the cars, they will, like you said, they'll put more butts in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Will make it easier to pay the purse. But it's kind of a catch-22 there. If you don't pay the purse, the cars don't come.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, our opinion is it needs to be run like a business. We can't bring our own purse money. Mark and I have both put a lot of money into it over the last several years. And, you know, that's not right. We bring the cars and we bring the purse money. I guess that says how much we love racing, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
So it is the promoter's responsibility to advertise. They got to do their jobs as well. You know, advertise the butts in the seats, collect the money, and pay out a portion of that and keep a portion of it. And hopefully they can profit as well.
So is it standardized?
In this for the money right now.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, and I guess we always hound. If you listen to this show enough, you'll find that a lot of times the only time we jump on promoters is because it feels like it's not run like a business. You know, we've traveled a lot, and when it is, it seems like the shows are sustainable. So in other words, if you guys were funding it all and not getting help, or them saying, hey, we're going to take some of the risk off you, that long term, it's like, well, if we have one bad night, you can really go in the hole. And then it's like, we can't keep doing this. I mean, even Kevin Swindell said he was afraid to run the 410 sprint car because unless they have guaranteed major backing, you know, he's like, my house could be gone in what it takes to run these races in, you know, a month. So
Yeah.
that's good to hear that they're willing to work with you.
I was going to ask Patrick, is it, you know, obviously I have your schedule up here. What is it? Well, you only revisit airport, I think, in Jefferson County. So say 6 new racetracks, right? In the coming year, whatever it is. Is it standard? Like, do you guys have a standard, like, way of doing it, saying, hey, you, the promoter of XYZ track, need to give X amount of purse every week, or is it just kind of different per track?
We're trying not to be too rigid. We want to work with the promoters. We want to make it happen. We need to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as are we willing to work with them? Yeah, and we have. We've worked right now. We've got 4 or 5 different promoters.
Correct.
Some of them are very willing, very easy. Others want different purse structures based on car count. And then some need some help as far as sponsors for the event.
Mm-hmm.
And we're willing to do that to an extent, but at the same time, we need to run the series like a business as well, the same as the promoters do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no way for the series to truly profit. Unlike a promoter, the income streams aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
What we're looking at is sponsorship income and membership dues. Well, we both feel like the racers spend enough money. We can't put it all on membership dues.
Yep.
We can't put it all on pill draw fees. We can't put it all on the racer. The promoter and has to put the butts in the seats in order to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm.
We'll help in every way we can to get that done, by all means. You know, it has to be a collaborative effort between the promoters, the series, and the racers, or it isn't going to happen.
Follow up. I'm sorry.
We're very excited to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To see everybody coming to the table and working with us in order to get this done.
Has there been any, you don't have to name any names or tracks or anything, but in your current schedule that you guys put together, has there been any tracks or promoters that you were looking to go to their state track facility, whatever, and you just couldn't make it happen because of different structures, different opinions on how it should be ran?
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, hey, that's the thing. If you're a promoter, and we talk about this a lot, and this is just the economics of dirt track racing. And I think maybe coming from asphalt, I used to see how they structured it, and it seemed to be done a little bit more efficiently, as where you have about 4 cars or special events that really pack the stands. So midgets always being one of them. And I noticed a huge draw. I didn't know how many midget fans there were in my hometown because we've talked about it on the show. I didn't even know there was a dirt track here. I've lived my whole life in Pueblo until a buddy said, hey, come out and hot lap this car. But then I happened to go out there one night because I heard midgets were there. And it was probably the first year they were open, or maybe the second. And on a normal night, there would be, I mean, at the very beginning, maybe 50 people in the stands. But just because they heard midgets, this is before they even had some permanent lighting and setups. Kind of dangerous, you know, for the midget guys, but they showed up, and that place they had to open up both sides of the stands. And I was like, holy shit,
Damn.
They have something here if it's sustainable. I hadn't seen anything in my hometown, whether it be asphalt or dirt, like that since I was probably a kid. So there really is promise to it. But you see big sprint car shows, midgets, late models, and then, you know, you're either your one-off big stock car or modified races when they have big purses and a ton of car counts. But when the scheduling's done right, it seems like you can sustain a weekly show, but you have to pay the guys that are going to put the butts in the seats and find a way to do it. And then everything else can trickle down. I mean, so if they're willing to do that, that's great.
And at the same time, you can't oversaturate a specific market, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what we've done, we intentionally don't have a plant schedule.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of tracks yet.
Yep.
Reason I'm not naming names as to those that we're in discussions with them. They want to see how it goes, and hopefully next year we can talk again and get some events at those tracks that we're not at now.
Yeah.
And make the schedule a little bit bigger that way. But to have 6 or 8 races at one location oversaturates. People do get bored.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's away from that lure of midget racing.
It should seem special because that's what those big shows do. Is I know sitting as a fan, just being still a fan, like I try to go watch, if I'm not racing, or even if I am, I'll try to sneak away to watch midgets, because there's something about the open wheel that it drew me to, and you guys can attest to this, is that it just feels like it's something dangerous, and it kind of gets that elevate. You can feel it in the crowds. You know, I mean, and it is, and it's exciting, and they know if there's a good car count, there's going to be a good race. But if you do have that every week and then car counts are down, it does take away from that. And that's hard to get back once the magic's gone. It's kind of like a peek behind the curtain.
Absolutely.
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
It's good not like touch on what Patrick said is oversaturating the tracks. You know, it takes away from the nuance of it, the excitement of bringing the midgets or sprint cars or what have you to those tracks. But we also wanted to look at it on the promoter side of, you know, this is going to cost a lot of money for those guys to guarantee us purses. And we wanted to work with them to get the name out there, to get the enthusiasm back in the sport, midgets in particular, and show those guys, hey, we'll bring the cars. Now we start talking, and it's been a very encouraging process with the promoters we've landed with.
So I'm going to stop you there, Mark. Do you know, I guess, based on the conversations behind the curtain, to use an analogy Blair just used, do you have like a rough estimate that you can share with the folks listening and watching? Like you mentioned, you had maybe 6 cars that were willing to participate. 4 of them were on behalf of you two. Have you heard people coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I got a car, I'm going to join the club? Are we up to like 20 now? What's a rough estimate?
You know, right now we're sitting very, very positive and very consistent. I've just had a call with a guy that has several midgets. He won't be able to make all of the races in the state, but he is definitely going to race a handful of races out of state and a few in town as well. We've got some new guys that we've been in contact with that are getting, you know, moving up from the 600s to get into a midget. You know, once again, got guys that are bringing cars back out. It's encouraging. Right now we're sitting at a good 12 plus cars.
Perfect. So doubled it, right?
Yeah.
On paper. Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. And that's with a consistent good number. You know what? We'll draw on more. I know Patrick and I both feel confident about that. There'll be more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like without even this series starting, you know, what do we got? The 23rd of May, to double your car count on paper from last year, that's already a success, right? And you haven't even, asked, or rubber hasn't even touched the dirt yet. So it's very good.
Yeah, very encouraging. A lot of hard work, a lot of conversations with people, a lot of hard conversations with people. If, they don't necessarily agree with this series being ran like a business. Let's be honest. The club it's not for this era. Everybody's seen it with other series, other clubs, if you will. But we've talked to them and they're coming around, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see those guys come back out because they're going to bring some good cars and some good drivers, and that's what we want. We want good competition.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have discussions? I'm just curious from the business aspect of it, and I'm surprised Blair, he probably has this in his questions, but did you talk to other people that have been involved in clubs or business owners to try to get like a template or a basis of how you're going to do it? Or did you guys just sit down and say, throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks?
There was about 4 people that we started these conversations with: Patrick, Jeff Heffner, Bob Haar, and myself. And without that little team, we may not have been able to make this happen. We bounced a lot of ideas, the pros, the cons, and everybody was super excited about the future of the Centennial Midget Series. But yeah, Patrick and I are both businessmen, and we know it has to be ran like a business. And we brought in some others to give us, their thoughts, and they were all in, but going out to other series, I know I can't touch base on that. Patrick has been around the sport a lot longer than I have. And I know he's talked to others.
You want to touch on that, Patrick, or leave it open-ended?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I have been around a long
well, not that part, but
I'm old. It's okay. I've accepted it.
I didn't go there. I didn't go
over the years, I've watched a lot of different things happen. I've talked to a lot of different, and more on the promoting aspect. Originally, I kind of thought when I was done racing, maybe I would figure out how to get involved with a track and promote and do that kind of thing. It was kind of just happenstance that I ended up being the president of the Midget Club, the RMMRA, and it has kind of evolved to me being on this side of it. I have been involved in promoting races in the past successfully. And by success, I mean we broke even. I think I made $400. So
there you go.
It was a good night.
Yeah.
We had a full field of sprint cars. It was great. During that process, I had a lot of discussions with some pretty well-known promoters in the industry, and gotten some very, very good insight from those people. So yeah, it's not just something that we're throwing against the wall to see what sticks, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I didn't assume that. I was just curious. And Blair obviously has the business background mindset, if you will. And I'm just curious, like if I were to go to Blair and say, hey, we're going to start a sprint car club, where in the hell do we begin? It's just kind of cool to hear how some of this stuff comes together. So
yeah. And back to the RMMRA, it's very important for us to carry on the legacy. You know, you said it yourself. It's a very long-standing club, and we don't want to destroy it. We don't want to see the history of it go away. It's very important to continue that. The reason for the series change, it's still based around the RMMRA. This specific series, the Centennial Midget Series, is hopefully longer term. We have a little bit bigger vision here, but hopefully this is the Colorado Regional Series. And, you know, who knows, 3, 5, 10 years down the road, maybe there can be other series within the Rocky Mountain Midget Association.
That's cool.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, how do you, I guess maybe you don't know the answer to this question yet because it's in its infancy stages, if you will. How are you guys, obviously we follow you on social and everything like that, but are you guys, you know, promoting in and of itself, like for Centennial Midget Club? Are you like advertising, or how are you guys getting, you know, the name out there? Is it just strictly social and going to the racetracks?
So far it's been social. It's so early right now that
Sure.
we almost did this kind of, we both have the knowledge to be able to do it. We kind of did it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, discussion
You did.
happened. We were looking at this this membership meeting in the fall, and it was, you know, 3, maybe 4 weeks before that, we started looking at how this was going to go down or wasn't going to go down, and what were we going to do about it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Mark and I both have our own businesses to run, so this is still is our hobby.
Yeah.
We want to turn it into something bigger, but at the moment, yeah, we're doing everything kind of slowly right now, and it will ease into it.
Yeah, and I think going back to that, sorry, Blair, I think to your point, Patrick, like I think, what are we in March? I think Blair had initially, like I said in the pre-show, he had initially mentioned something big was coming for midgets, right? And, you know, his relationship with Mark. And I think that was only maybe December when you first said it. So to see you guys, like you just said, Patrick, have that club meeting in the fall, Blair tells me in December, just to give a timeline. And now here we are talking to you guys live on a podcast that the club's fully established. You guys got your first, you know, race or races back to back 23rd of May. Like that's, I mean, you made progress in what, 3-4 months. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And most of it did happen in December, really. Our big push was to try to get logos built, get some branding, get, you know, that thing, get a schedule put together in time for the Chili Bowl to be able to release that. And that's pretty much how we did it.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Blair. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. And, you know, I'm ADD, so I shift gears hard on you guys. But so as far as the series, we discussed a little bit. The cars and rules, you're going to stick with a basic package to where guys can travel, or if they want to come in and run some events, they can. But it was my understanding that maybe you've opened up a little bit to allow for some of the local guys to be able to still compete or come out, say they're not a national touring level car, but they want to race with you at a local show. For those that are listening or maybe are interested in racing, or maybe they've looked at older cars, a little bit about how you plan to be able to allow them to race, even if they can't compete on the national or even regional touring level. Just a little bit about the cars maybe and the plans for that.
Oh, part of it, it's kind of tough to do, I guess, to keep it open to that national level, the titanium, the lightweight stuff, the expensive cars. They are, you know, we all know that. It's hard to do something. We do have an idea that we're going to try to put a little bit more money on the high placing D2 car. Right now we only have one of them in the series. You know, it's one of those, I think we want to hold off on that until we can get a few more.
Mhm.
That's a cool idea.
Otherwise, we're giving the same person the money every week.
Right. Well, shit,
Yeah.
I'll go buy an old one then. We'll just,
I know he'd love that for sure. But we're just trying to keep it open with with the national level rules, but backing down on a few of their restrictions that wouldn't allow some of these let's call them older cars
Mhm.
to compete, chassis rules, etc. So yeah, bring your cars out if they meet our standards, our rules, what we've put in place, and they're on the website and Facebook. Bring them out. Let's race. As long as they're safe and they're not going to kill themselves and or somebody else. It's all within reason to get them out there and get them back on the dirt. That's been one of our biggest things is let's get guys out of the barns. They don't have to think they have to have a Toyota or an SR11 or a Link chassis or whatever the case may be, all the titanium to come out and compete, because it's just not the case. We want everybody to be able to come out, have fun, and be competitive, because as we've all discussed, look at Adam. He's got a W9. He's one hell of a racer. I give him that. And that's exciting to see. So you don't have to have that national level car to come out and compete with the Centennial Midget Series.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's honestly, I've never even heard of it, where you're, as you grow, right, and get more, maybe 20 cars, and you got 5 of those that are not top shelf, right out of the factory cars, that you're giving them an incentive to still come run with you, dust off, like you said, Mark, in the barn, pull off the cover. Hey, we got none to lose, and we're going to get paid a little bit if we finish ahead of the other, D2 cars. I mean, that's a brilliant idea, and I've honestly never even thought of that before. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, that some of the older cars we're going to open up the weight rule on them. Whatever they want to try it. As long as the chassis is safe, a shot.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just going to say, and maybe something that a lot of guys, if they have been out of it for a while, I mean, I'm sure if they follow Chili Bowl, but my understanding now is that you guys are all on SP3s, even at national tour level. Is that correct? So, correct. I mean, that probably has made a big difference too, to where if a guy came out and you're on an SP2 and it's pretty hammered down, you're in trouble if you're in an old car. But a lot of what we see, and for guys that haven't traveled out here, in the middle of summer, you are going to see dry slick in a lot of places where it's not just a horsepower banger. So it would be good to see them pull them out.
We live in that part of the country. Those are the tracks we have here. They're dry, slick, just by nature. And it's the region we live in. We don't have the river bottom, the gumbo, the sticky black clay like a lot of the places through the Midwest. So that, combined with the hard tire, it makes horsepower a lot less important, for sure. Part of the reason we wanted to keep it open as well, other than drawing cars from the Kansas City area, the Midwest, Oklahoma, the PowerI West cars are, more than welcome to come. The rules packages are all the same. We hope we see more of them as we're getting the purse up. But part of the program we've done with the co-sanctioning with USAC midsummer for their Mid-America Midget Week, we have to have the rules. We have to have the same rules in order to be able to co-sanction events like that. A few years ago, the PowerI West was involved in the Garden City shows. So we had to have the same rules to be able to do those events together and have the bigger car counts and try to create some of those marquee events.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I mean, I feel like all of the, however many sanctioned bodies we have now, especially for midgets, what is there, 6, 5, something like that, whatever it is. But I feel like you guys what you're doing is making it easier. And especially like too, if they're traveling, right? Like some of the national guys, if they're traveling right from coast to coast or whatever the case is, and they just happen to pull up your guys' schedule and say, hey, we can, that's on a Saturday, we don't race till whatever it is, Wednesday or whatever on the national tour, and they can stop by. So you're just really doing a great job of inviting everybody, no matter what rank they're at, specifically in the midgets, to come out and and it's more seat time for those guys too. So I would say that over the next couple of years, not to call it a feeder series because it's not, but I feel like the car count, depending on the track and location on any given weekend, is you could see 25 plus cars there depending on what's going on.
I love that enthusiasm, Brandon.
I'm here for it.
That's what we want to see also. That's what we want to see for sure.
You say feeder series, we'd love to see that. Love to start to be able to take some younger talent, build them up, and have them go race and do some of the national series stuff and beyond. It seems like the midgets the USAC midgets specifically are feeders to other aspects of other parts of racing.
Yeah,
seeing big names go into NASCAR through the midgets at one point or another. And if we can feed a person or two into that, that'd be great. Yeah.
Well, then pretty soon we'll be sitting here in January and saying, damn, that guy that just won the Chili Bowl, he came from the Centennial Midget Series. Look at that.
You never know.
This is do you guys have any plans? I mean, this is secondary, but I know a lot of tracks now are streaming the races. I mean, Brandon and I talked last year. I think Flow was, and of course they don't release specific numbers, but that on their open wheel side, they were actually going to draw more views over the year than Indy cars. So that would make sprint cars and midgets more popular than Indy. Of course, they run a lot more races, but the growth is astronomical. So are there any plans for either you have a streaming deal? I mean, I know some tracks are doing it. I mean, you can actually subscribe to individual tracks. So are you going to depend on the track to do that? Or is there even going to be someone there? A lot of times I'll watch live streams of guys I know right off Facebook. But have you had anybody reach out, or is that just something that the tracks generally take care of as far as streaming the races too, to draw eyeballs to the series?
We haven't had anybody reach out yet. We do have several contacts, in both of the major arenas, and have had some discussion. My feeling again with that Mid-America Midget Week is that those races will all be on Flow.
Okay,
that's awesome.
Utilizing the co-sanction events with USAC. We were really hoping to have the midgets be a support class at the World of Outlaw show, which would have put us on.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't quite get that deal done, but maybe next year.
Said who? It's not too late. That's in September. We got time.
Right? Yeah.
I know a guy.
Well, that'd be cool. But
how about we pitch any of the shows that Blair's not racing on? Blair and I will. We don't have cameras to stream anything, but him and I could be up in the booth calling the race, no charge.
We would love it. We would
Absolutely.
love your guys' help. It's amazing what you guys do for the sport, and we both can't thank you again enough for what you're doing for our series.
No, absolutely. Blair and I talked about it actually this year, not to get sidetracked, but maybe getting the opportunity to do that. Obviously, we're not professionals or anything, but I think it'd be pretty cool, especially, just dust it off and get Blair. I've done it in iRacing, which is not the same thing, but we could definitely try it out if you guys are cool with us making mistakes.
That's how Chase Rodman started out when we talked to him on the show. He filled in for Johnny Gibson, I think, for iRacing because he had never done that. It's just amazing the contacts you make. But, the problem is I'm usually on a 1 week turnaround. So I race every other weekend. And that's what I told Brandon. It's just impossible for me to get all my work done at the business with my family. And, we got a lot of
making excuses. They're giving us a golden ticket to go announce a race. And you're saying no.
Come on, Blair.
I'm just giving everybody. Brandon could do it by himself. He has the voice of an angel, and I get mistaken for a woman at the drive-thru. So I'm not the one.
Hey, every Batman needs his Robin. Come on now.
I've got a couple, if you guys don't mind, I've got a couple kind of off questions beyond the series, and maybe start with you, Mark. Are you still planning to race? And how long have you actually, we got to know you a little bit last year, but how long have you been racing midgets, and what's your plans?
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on racing. Cars are all put back together, fresh rebuilds on everything, and they're looking beautiful. We're really excited for this season. I've been racing about 12 years in a midget. Came from a background of motocross and off-road desert truck stuff. But this side by side, elbows up, you can't beat it. Open wheel dirt racing is an addiction. It's a passion addiction. There's so many words for it, but I love it. It's awesome, but I'm not planning on going anywhere. I got my car ready to rock and roll.
Well, and Patrick, you mentioned you being out of the seat. What was it like to go from that transition to car owner and having drivers? And do you still resent those drivers sometimes when they get to pull out there and it's your equipment? You still have that? You wish you could do it, or are you happy in the role you're in?
I don't know if it's resentment, but I wish I could sit in the seat once in a while. The technology and the advancements, even in the short time that I've been out of it, is unbelievable. The horsepower gains, the shock technology, the quality of torsion bars, the cars in general, tires, wheels, everything is so much nicer than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't been out of it that long yet, but yeah, there are times when I wish I could drive for sure. And who knows?
That's what I was going to say. It's you
Maybe
get
someday.
in. Yeah.
We'll make a deal with you, Patrick. If you get back in the car, Blair and I will announce that race flag to flag.
Okay.
I'd do it.
See, there you go.
Negotiation. Top, though. I think that would be I got
who's paying the divorce bill on this one?
Yeah.
We're not responsible for that one.
Midget, I would.
We'll run you under my name.
Johan Burke.
Perfect.
As far as the transition, I don't know. I wanted to stay involved. I love racing. It's still really fun for me. I probably have nicer stuff now than I ever did. In fact, I know I do, because I feel more responsible that I have to put whoever's going to drive the car that night, I have to give them the best chance they can possibly have. Where a lot of times when it was me, things were good enough,
Right. So who do you, obviously we know Keith Roush. I'm going to go 2 for 2 on names tonight. Thank you, Mark. Is he going to be full-time in this series? And I guess who else, Mark, what say you as well, but who's your locked in drivers from the stable of Burke and Hamilton?
Keith and myself will be full-time on my side. I
am still working on it.
All right. Blair, you heard that, right?
I've got half the schedule filled up with Jeremy Hewish. He's got some sprint car events that collide with ours. As hard as we worked on it to not have that happen,
it's going to happen.
Every single series, it's not really possible.
Yep.
So he has some collisions and won't be able to do a couple of them, and we'll see.
I like the mystery here. He's got a smirk when he says that. Guess we'll have to find out.
Cool. Well, we look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. So is it Airport Raceway, May 23rd, 24th? Is that just a midget show, or what else you guys got going on?
There'll be midgets, and then the local 600s out there that Jack Cook promotes out there. Jack's a fantastic person, great friend, and a great promoter, and he's really encouraged us into making this happen, and been graceful enough to have us come out there for two night shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess before I ask this question, I see the Jefferson County Speedway in Fairbury, Nebraska. You got a 3-night show in July, and I see a practice and party. I don't see party too much on a schedule too often. What can you elaborate there? What's that about?
Oh, the night before. So it's actually a 2-night race. The first night, Thursday night, will be, they do a practice session for the guys that want to go out and do it. And they basically have a party. They feed everybody. All the race teams are there. It's really a great time.
Interesting. What my question to that was, I guess, what race or track are you guys most excited about in your 2026 lineup?
Garden City and that one.
Got it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, you had said, oh, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
I know Honor is he's been doing a great job of accepting and wanting us down there. So I got to give him big props. He's been awesome. So
are you guys running? You guys are run. Which track are you going to run down there?
The big track.
Okay, I was going to say that's going to get a little crazy if you do the little one.
Yeah,
just making sure.
We'll be down there 2 times this year. So yeah, we like them all. We like them all as long as they. We'll be honest, pay the bills, man. We're down there. We're wherever.
Blair, didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But anyway, thanks a lot, Brandon.
I mean,
squirrel.
Yeah, he does do that.
It didn't take long, did it?
he probably looked out the window and was like, I'm doing a podcast? Shit. All right.
You know what I actually started thinking was my car's not finished and I'm doing this.
See, I told you.
It's getting close.
Just wonders.
But it took me a long time to get the engine back. So
yeah. Well, let's. I meant to state it in the intro as we kind of wrap up here. But you, Mark, Patrick, are you coming to the trade show on the 21st?
I am certainly going to try.
All right, perfect. And you guys, Mark, want to elaborate? I know we talked about it in the pre-show. You guys bringing the trailer down. What do you got going on?
Yeah, we're going to bring the Hamilton Motorsports Hoosier of the Rockies trailer down with tires and rod end supply. We've partnered up with them, TJ Forge Wheels.
Damn.
Those guys are actually going to be a big part of the CMS as well. We've got a lot of very good sponsors that are returning and some new sponsors for the series. But we also sell their product. We believe in good products with good relationships behind them. And we'll be selling all that stuff down at the trade show. Cool.
Yeah, sound like I'm listening to a high limit race with all the ads going on.
They don't know. El Paso,
all the races for you guys.
Oh yeah.
El Paso County Fairgrounds. That'll be March 21st. So if you guys want to come check it out, we'll be posting about it on Facebook and everything. But we'll actually be doing a live podcast there, so you get to talk to a lot of drivers, crews. It's really a hodgepodge, and we go for about 5 hours, 5-6 hours. So it's a long day, but it's a blast. In fact, that's how we got to first meet Mark. So
yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time.
Yeah, it should be fun. So looking forward.
I have it pulled up from Mr. Joe. I think it starts at 9 in the Whitmore building, that big building behind the track. So if you're just hearing about the trade show for the first time, again, like Blair said, March 21st, looks like it opens at 9 a.m., goes till 3, admission's $5. You get to come hang out with a lot of cool people, not including myself. So definitely make that happen.
I know what I was going to ask. And Patrick,
because
we talked about, so I know we're at about an hour, so we won't keep you guys too much longer. It's getting late. But you said you kind of started with the sprint cars and that was really your passion, and then moving into midgets. But walking around the pits, I always wonder what a guy who's done both, maybe who's more prima donnas? Is it sprint car drivers or midget guys?
Oh,
is it close?
It shifts.
You got to have them big halo wing things on you. I'm pretty sure it's the sprint car drivers.
There you go.
Hey, that's just because we can't drive as well. Don't worry about those.
It definitely goes from one to the other for sure.
Okay. All right. So it's both.
2 or 3 different times over I started racing a sprint car in 1990, so I've been doing it quite a while now.
Damn, what year were you born, Blair?
88.
It was before my time.
Patrick's been around.
Yeah,
Been doing it a
It's
long
all right.
time, and
That's
Yeah.
cool.
still loving it.
yeah, that's
Good.
what matters. Well, hey guys, we appreciate what you guys are doing. You know, to echo Mark's statement about what Blair and I are doing. You guys are doing a hell of a lot more. Obviously, putting asses in the seats, like we said, putting cars on track. You know, taking something that's kind of prestigious, and it still is to the area, Colorado, right? And it having that vision to keep driving it forward. So we look forward to you know, talking about CMS all year long, talking about updates and seeing the results and stuff that you guys post. And so you got our backing for what it's worth here on the show, and we'll continue to drive it with you. So
We appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys.
Time.
It's
We're
awesome.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see you guys here in about 18 days or so. So
all
Sounds
right.
like a plan.
Yeah.
all right,
All right, fellas.
Patrick Burke, Mark Hamilton on the Throwin Sliders podcast. See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. I was actually all I had left was to talk about the trade show. So I have failed to do a good job of promoting on our behalf of that, but you'll start seeing a lot of posts from us to try to get you guys down there. I mean, was that your first time last year, Blair? Going to
Yeah,
that?
you know, it's hard for me. You know how it is when we get towards race season. I get
Sure.
in crunch time, but no, I actually had a blast. So,
Yeah.
you know, if nothing else, even if you're not going to buy parts and stuff, it's good. It's just good to get reorientated around the racetrack and talking to the people. And, you know, because once the season starts, it gets busy. And really most of my friends now, I mean, you know, we do the show and all the other guys we get to see and stuff, but that's really my friends for the most part
Sure.
now, because that's who we spend the most time with outside of work. So it's just a lot of fun, and you get to get out and see everybody. And then if you pick some stuff up or want some information on a series, you know, Hamilton, like you said, they're going to have their trailer there. Sam will be slanging merch, shirts. They've got the best merch. And, you know, so you can pick up tires and button up everything you need to before the beginning of the season. So, you know, should be a great time. But
Yeah,
we always
looking
have
forward to
fun.
that. Yeah. And I was literally just going to echo those same, you know, if you're not going there to buy anything or buy a car or anything, I mean, the people that are there and the knowledge about racing to help you out. I mean, we met a lot of folks just, you know, talking in between shows. Right. And it was phenomenal. So definitely encourage you again, March 21st, down at El Paso County Speedway, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll see us. You'll see a lot of people there. So definitely encourage you to do that. Again, $5 to get in there, walk around. And I think I don't know what food trucks, but they'll have there. But last year we had some badass barbecue, whatever that place was. So definitely appreciate that. So come on down. But yeah, what a show. You know, Mark and Patrick putting this on, and really it's invigorating, right? Like all we hear about, if you know, follow different tracks and promoters and stuff throughout the US, you know, grassroots stuff, a lot of it's what you hear is, hey, so we're closing down, and, you know, this, that, and the other, because of one reason or the other, mainly coming down to money or financials. But on the opposite end, we get, you know, news like this, and we're happy to share. And it's local to us, right? It's not like we're talking about something in Florida, which we, you know, is still great for the sport of racing, but it's local to us, and, you know, obviously near and dear to our hearts. So if you're listening to this live, or you will whenever you listen to your podcast, certainly should be exciting for you, especially if you're a dirt track fanatic like we all are. It's just going to continue to grow, and, you know, obviously the intent, hopefully, and then maybe in 10 years, if Blair and I are still doing this, we can talk about, hey, we got 3 new tracks that opened up right in the state, and it's going to be because of, you know, things like you know, Mark and Patrick are doing. So really cool. And yeah, I thank you, Blair, for putting all this together. I was just a innocent bystander waiting for the green light to put a show together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think I have a vested interest too, because I just love watching midgets. And I think maybe that being one of the goals of the show this year is, if you have seen them, but you've never taken somebody, I started to see that going around. You know, you got to take these kids to the races. I mean, streaming's great. You can watch it from your couch. You don't have to get out. But man, there's just something you miss. It's never going to be the same. And I really don't think you're going to make full-time fans if they've never actually been to a race. I mean, it's one of those things, stand-up comedy, racing, stuff like that. You just have to go. So our goal this year is to really try to get people out to the races and bring a kid with you or bring someone else with you. That's the only way it's going to survive. And if it makes economic sense for a lot of these places, it'll grow. And that's all there is to it. We don't want to see it go the way of a lot of other things that, I mean, now being in, getting older is I've seen a lot of stuff disappear that I really enjoyed as a kid. And I think, it's healthier for them to get out and experience some of this stuff. And if they want to do it, sure, it's dangerous. I know a lot of parents don't want to see their kids take the risk of getting hurt, but I think probably the biggest risk is that they never do anything that they'll truly love. I mean, it changed my entire life. I don't do it for a living, but I consider it a job, and I try to treat it as a professional setting, and it's high risk, but the reward of knowing that you worked on something and put your all into it. And even the nights that we suck, I learned something. And whether it's about the car or myself, you've been with me on all those occasions, and same with you. I mean, it's a different thing than a stick and ball sport. So let's get after it and get these kids out there and give them a shot. It doesn't have to be the most expensive stuff. You don't have to start them in a midget, but you can work towards it. I didn't start there, So, and I wouldn't recommend it. So you don't have to have the best shit. You don't have to have the nicest car. Just get the kid out and see what they can do. And if they love it.
Yeah. No, and well said. And I will say, coming from, I guess, different, or living in, not coming from, but living in different geographical locations, right? You're in Pueblo, I'm in Denver. Obviously it's without saying Denver is very pricey, right? And I say all this to say, if you go out to dinner, or you go to, now having a child, if you go to the aquarium, for example, you're going to spend $100, just to go through and look at fish. And my daughter loves that, and I'll continue to do that. But if you take that same principle and, you have a kid who watches something on Flow Racing, or they're in iRacing, or wherever they're getting their content, and they say, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, I want to go check this, these race cars out at the track. You're going to be able to go have the same quality of entertainment, actually longer, because the aquarium, for example, is maybe an hour and a half, and you're through there, saw the mermaid, saw the shark and the tiger, and you're out of there. And all you have is a stuffed animal, maybe. But when you go to a racetrack, it's a 6-7 hour ordeal, depending on when you get there. And for the cost of $25 to get in there, and the memories and the sights, the smells, everything that you're going to endure over those 6 hours are really priceless. You can't even put a price on it. Yeah, we encourage you to get out there. And I think we've said this probably a million times, or we'll say it 1,000,001 times. If we don't have the local support, you can watch podcasts, you can, do this or that on the internet. But if you're not physically going to the track and helping, the likes of Mark and Patrick grow these series, it's going to die off. And to Blair's point, it's just going to be another thing that we talk about in 20 years. Man, we remember when we used to go watch, dirt track racing in Colorado. Well, that was the thing of the past. So we don't want that to happen. We're obviously advocates to not let that happen, but we can only do so much. So get off my soapbox.
No excuses. Now. Get your ass out there.
Exactly. No doubt. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I know it was kind of short notice, so we hope that you listen on, your preferred platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple, wherever, or just rewatching here on Facebook or YouTube. Certainly encourage that. Blair and I will be back in mid-season form. I don't even know when our start date's going to be, but probably sometime in April, right around start of the race season. But yeah, we'll have a big long podcast on the 21st. So we'll try not to goof that up for you. Had a lot of fun. And I think from last year, everybody enjoyed that. So looking forward to that. So you'll get to see our ugly mugs in 17, 18 days.
Right on. Yeah. We open up April 6th. So everybody come out for that one too. We'll be at El Paso County. Looks like Swindell's coming back. That's always a packed house. Big show, good car counts. So you can flip me off from the stands. I got a few of those and a few guys wearing my t-shirts. So I love them both. So
there you go. April 6th. I didn't realize that. Holy cow. That's literally less. Yeah. 28 days. Good stuff. All right, everybody. Well, appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you on the 21st, but keep throwing those sliders. Holla. This was another production of Scrubbing Tires Media. The Throwin Sliders podcast is hosted by Blair Cooper and Brandon Hall. Video and audio was created by Bryce Holcomb. Please like, share, and leave a 5-star review. And as always, keep throwing